My name is Scott Comegys. I'm an alpaca farmer, a husband, a father, a public servant, an outdoor enthusiast, a sustainability advocate, a community organizer, and I'm running for the New York State Assembly for the 130th District, which is all of Wayne County, the northern half of Cayuga County, and a portion of Oswego County, including the towns of Oswego, Hannibal, and Minetto. There isn't a simple answer as to why I feel compelled to run for office. I want to be a more effective voice for our communities, to advance that rural perspective of upstate New York and include that in the work that New York State can do to create a society in which everyone can succeed by their own determination, to live in prosperity with dignity and ideally in happiness. Now, despite being told otherwise, that isn't how we've been served for the past 30 plus years. We've been served by people who claim to be fighting on our behalf, but really, as their voting records will show, they've just been opposing progress with healthcare, education, environmental stewardship, social and economic justice. They call for bare bones government, and they claim that all the challenges, every challenge that we have, can be solved through individual effort and individual responsibility. Right. We keep being represented in this fashion because it's the way we've always done it. We're told that that's how people in rural America want it, that that's the tradition that they want to continue. Well, continuing with the way we've always done it has our district in decline and being left behind. That rhetoric of fighting has been very effective at dividing our communities and kept us left out of the real work being done for the state in Albany. The way we've always done it doesn't serve. It's hurting us. And we cannot afford to keep it up. The idea that the tradition of rural communities is to oppose progress and to rely solely on individual effort to move us forward, that's a lie. Rural tradition is to help your neighbors succeed. Rural tradition is to build communities so that we can achieve together what we cannot achieve alone. Rural tradition in upstate New York is to help more people be included in our just society, to innovate so that we can achieve more, to take care of the land that provides for us, and to ensure that future generations can thrive. Rural tradition fosters hope and works with practicality to achieve ideals. I'm running for the New York State Assembly in order to serve in a different way, to include those rural values of community, innovation, and stewardship, and that perspective of hope and practical idealism in the work and service that our state government does in Albany so that we can overcome the challenges we face as a society and enable all people, now and for generations to come, to live and thrive with success, harmony, dignity, prosperity, and in happiness. The Upward Caucus was established because each district in central New York and the Finger Lakes region is dealing with the same or similar issues and has been misrepresented in a similar way. And rather than have a singular representative work on their own to be heard amongst hundreds of state legislators, we can work collaboratively and collectively to have a greater voice in those rooms. And together we bring the values and perspective of upstate rural communities to the working majority of the New York State Assembly and Senate. And through that collaborative relationship, rather than the contrary relationship that we've been represented by in the past, we can make the proposed solutions to issues work for our region and make those solutions a reality. Whether we're talking about healthcare or education or infrastructure or economic development, we achieve more together than any one of us could alone. And that translates directly into more support and resources for Wayne, Cayuga, and Oswego counties. We have a budget crisis that is overshadowing everything right now. Now that was true before the pandemic, but the advent of COVID-19 made everything so much worse. And the racial justice crisis that we're going through has added urgency for action in that regard. Now, despite identifying all of the issues that need to be addressed so far, our top priority has to be going through the entire budget to identify areas of waste, fraud, and abuse, and divert funding away from those areas and towards programs that serve us better and more efficiently. Hand in hand with that, we have to identify ways of raising revenue that doesn't add to the burden on the middle class or lower income families so that we can pay for all these things that would have to happen right now. After that, the first priorities all have to do with recovering from the pandemic. and need to be addressed together. Healthcare, education funding, and infrastructure are the means to recover and to address much of the systemic change needed to promote justice. How can people help me get elected? Well, for starters, if you live in Wayne, Cayuga, or Oswego counties in the 130th district, make sure you're a registered voter and that you vote for me on November 3rd in the general election. Beyond voting for me, and really, I can't say enough, I can't say too many times, vote for me. Beyond voting for me, you can contact the campaign through the website, electscottcomegys.com, or through the Facebook page, Scott Comegys for New York. And you can volunteer by making phone calls to voters. You can distribute signs when they're available. You can host meet and greet, and I'm happy to meet voters of all persuasions. You can have those difficult conversations with friends and family to promote the change that I'm advocating. You can help register people to vote. Lastly, even if you're not in the 130th Assembly District, you can vote in another way by supporting the campaign. You know, the harsh reality of our political system right now is that we have to raise the funds to reach voters with literature or signs or hosting forums or through just general advertising. Now, I'm not independently wealthy. I'm a worker and an alpaca farmer. Otherwise, I probably would never ask for any money. But like the majority of people in the state, I don't have vast wealth. You know, that doesn't matter though if we band together and combine resources. And your support of the campaign is very much like a vote for me. Unofficially. If you're in the 130th district, please remember on November 3rd, you need to actually vote for me to get me elected. Now you can support the campaign through the links on the website or the Facebook page. It goes through ActBlue, or you can purchase one of the best t-shirts you will ever find for political campaigning. Again, you can find those through the website or through the Facebook page. You know, there's probably a lot to go on about, so you can find me and ask questions about that. What I really want people to know is that I appreciate the opportunity you've entrusted me with to serve you, and that I truly appreciate all of the support given so far. Thank you.